Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sonny here, and this is the 7th episode of Chrono Mind's Evolution. We open in Bethesda, Maryland, where an Asian man is locked in some kind of glass case. There's another Asian man outside the case who wants to question him. The reason I'm specifying the race will become important later. Anyway, he wants the man to admit what he did. The man says, "I don't know what you're talking about." So the unsub hits a button on his little controller, and some kind of highly corrosive acid pours down on the guy for a brief second, and he's pretty badly burned. And he says, "Now if you lie, the consequences will be dire." And so the guy's just agreeing to everything. "Yes, did I drug her? Yes, I did. Did you have sex with her? Yes, I did. Were there others? I know there were others. Yes. What are their names?" And he starts spitting out names. And the unsub says, "Those aren't the names. I told you not to lie." And then turns the shower on for real. And this guy is melted to bone. And then 3 hours later, the tank is drained, nothing left. The episode is called Piranha, and the mixture that he's using here, I believe they said, was a combination of sulfuric acid and hydrochloric acid. And it's called the Piranha acid because it can eat through a body completely in like 3 hours, as opposed to hydrochloric on its own, which can take up to 3 days or 3 months. I can't remember which Luke said. Anyway, we cut to later where the unsub is taking care of his newborn infant. His wife is in bed suffering from postpartum depression. She just can't feel connected to the child. And he tells her that he's found another one. And she's like, "Did he suffer?" Yes, he did. "Did he admit it to it?" No. They never do. There's only one left, and she wants to be there when he gets that one. Okay. Back to BAU. They are going through the Gold Star file, and a request comes in from Bethesda. They have 3 missing persons. The only trace they've found so far is a watch with some DNA recovered, and it is also been damaged by some kind of corrosive chemical. All 3 men are Asian. They all have a similar height and build, and even their facial features are kind of similar. Interesting. Well, JJ and Luke are assigned to that. Tyler and Tara are going through the material Rossi supplied and trying to narrow things down as to who the other Gold Star killers are. We then cut to Rossi, who, with Emily, has pulled all of the files from 94 to 97 that they just need to go through all of them. There's a ton. And figure out who had access to his paper that he and Gideon wrote. Well, Emily suggests they called Jill. She before Garcia, she was there kind of keeping track of records. Not on computer, but she might remember something. Rossi is adamant she cannot contact Jill. No way. Refuses to have her contact Jill. He orders her, which is kind of funny because Emily's his superior. She's out of it. She deserves to have a life of her own without having to deal with this. Oh, Jill. Okay, for those of you who didn't watch the original run of the series, before Rossi, there was Gideon. And he and Rossi actually founded the BAU, a la the show Mindhunters. And Jill was Gideon's wife, and she was also a psychologist and kind of was good at tallying records. And she has left. Rossi thinks, all the things she's seen, she deserves to not be brought back. Emily agrees. And then she goes and grabs Tyler. Actually, she has Garcia tracked down via computer where Jill is, and then grabs Tyler. She's going to need his help. And Tyler's like, well, wait a minute. I'm not going to be strong-arming anyone, am I? She's like, what? No, I just need you to be polite and sympathetic and empathetic. Oh, okay, well, that I can do. And so they head off. Meanwhile, our unsub has grabbed his fourth and what will turn out to be the final victim. Let's see. Meanwhile, over in maximum security lockup, Voigt's lawyer visits him, and he says, the deal's gone through. You're going to get only the two charges, kidnapping and manslaughter. And so he's not going to be in jail forever or get the death penalty. And he wants the lawyer to do something for him. He wants him to find something for him and then give it to someone else. And he's like, look, man, I'm not your errand boy. I'm your lawyer. And then Voit, using his very heightened senses, deduces his lawyer's wife has left him. And his lawyer's like, yeah, well, I've still got my practice. Well, you've got half of it. She'll get the other half. Unless, of course, you know someone who knows a lot of people who could maybe handle this problem for you. So the lawyer agrees to do what he wants. Anyway. The unsub has the new victim in the glass case. His wife is there with him. She asks the man to confess. Do you recognize me? Do you know who I am? And the guy throws up. She says, sounds like a confession to me. But she can't bring herself to hit the button to kill him. She doesn't have the strength. That's okay. The unsub has enough strength for both of them, and he gets rid of the guy. Okay. Emily and Tyler, they arrive at Jill's, I'm not sure if it's a townhouse, or it's not an apartment. Anyway, Jill doesn't want to let Emily in. And Emily finally convinces her to at least hear her out, giving some of the explanation about Gold Star and this and that. And so, but Jill lets her in, but she does not want to return to the BAU. Why? Rossi's still there. Weren't you friends? We were a bit more than friends. They both betrayed Gideon. Now, according to Jill, she broke it off with Rossi, but she is not up for any of that kind of drama. As a last resort, Emily pulls in Tyler, saying he's a new recruit and he could be going in danger. Can't you just consider to help so that, no more inexperienced agents might not go home that night? And Jill kind of looks at him, covers up his mouth and chin, then covers up his eyes, and is pissed. The reason Emily brought Tyler was because he, to a certain extent, resembles Jill's son. Of course, behavioral psychologist, he wasn't really that fooled. But since Emily's willing to go this far, she agrees. She will go and see what she can do at the BAU. Meanwhile, Having done some investigation, Garcia has been able, on the disappearing men, get into their emails, and they've all gotten these specific emails from someone saying, you raped Emily, admit it. And they, through some postulating and other things, it's revealed that he believes one of them fathered the child that his wife carried. Okay. And then they run into a bit of a snag, and they bring in the latest victims, or they go to see the latest victim, or victim's fiance. Turns out the latest victim was gay. Not bi, not poly, not pan, gay. No way would he have fathered a child. No way would he have attacked a woman. This causes them to bring up a new theory. What if the husband was infertile and they went to in vitro fertilization? What if now afterwards he can't handle that he isn't really the child's father, and has created a fantasy in his head that his wife was raped, and he has been able to, through his business, find out who the 4 potential donors were, and has been tracking them down. The only thing that doesn't fit is the wife. Is she going along with this? Does she not know? It's the one snag in the whole thing. Meanwhile, back at the unsub's house, his wife starts hemorrhaging from down there. So he rushes off to get their doctor. Now, when the doctor's kidnapped, this alerts the BAU, who now have narrowed down the probable suspects to this one couple, which is the unsub and his wife. Strangely enough, no record of a birth, suspecting that it was a home birth and he's keeping them at home. Okay, but they've got an address, so they head out. The doctor is in the glass case, and he wants her to tell him how to help his wife. And the doctor's like, well, let me out and I'll go look at her. No, just tell me what to do, what medicine to buy to stop the hemorrhaging. Well, if she's hemorrhaging, she has to go to the hospital. No, she can't go to the hospital. Just give me just write a prescription. And here we learn that the doctor reveals some things about him. I warned you not to do a home birth. I said there would be complications, but no, you won't listen to anyone. You have this fantasy in your head of what it's supposed to be like, and you can't accept when it isn't that. And then the police arrive, or the BAU and the feds and all that, and the unsub rushes out, gives himself up, saying, "Please help my wife. Please help my wife." And as they enter the home, they notice a very familiar rancid odor. Going upstairs, the wife in the bed is dead. In the baby's room, baby's dead. Both died during childbirth. And he's concocted this fantasy in his head because he can't deal with it. Even as he's being loaded in the car, he's begging them to take care of his wife to save her. Wow. Back in lockup, Voit receives a telephone call from his lawyer. He's found the spot Voit told him to go to. He says, okay, you got to dig. So he digs and he finds a case. He says, now here's the combination of the case. You'll need the case and that combination to a man named Damien. I'll tell you how to contact him. It's a very special case. Don't open it. Hangs up. And the lawyer, being a lawyer, immediately starts to open the case. Meanwhile, Jill arrives at the BAU. She and Rossi catch sight of each other. Credits. Really good episode. The unsub was really good and creepy. The way they doled out the clues was pretty good. The ending was unfortunately a bit more like some of the ones from the original episode. I especially remember one about a guy who was killing people due to road rage, and then it turned out that the family he had were dead. He had killed them. And then concocted this whole thing that a driver had done it, had injured his wife or something. So it's kind of similar to that, but you've been on this long, you're going to have some recycling. But yeah, really good episode. I like that they were dealing with something other than Gold Star for a change. And as this is going on, they're probably going to do that a lot more until the last couple episodes. I believe there's 8 more. Maybe only 5. I'm not sure. That doesn't matter. Anyway, really liked it. The reveal was well done. And yeah, Rossi wasn't really in this one, but got to give him a bit of a change from what happened last week. As always, I'm looking forward to the next episode, as well as the new Batman animated show that's coming out a couple months. Really looking forward to that, especially because it's made by the people that made the Batman the animated series. But that's for another set of videos. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.